how did I fail? Stay tuned to find out, because I'm gonna break down exactly what I did wrong in this situation, so you don't need to repeat my mistakes in your own games. This is Super Duper Pickleball. Welcome to another in-depth analysis video. I want to first thank all of you for your overwhelming support on my previous video. The amount of positive feedback that I got on that video helped me a lot to get the permissions from my wife to make more analysis videos like this one. Well, at least for now. If you're new to my channel or this is your first time watching any of my videos, you can find the link to my previous video down below in the descriptions to find out what happened. But before I dive into the main topic of today, I just wanted to give a quick update for everyone. My wife and I played at a 3-5-4 mixed doubles tournament recently, and we were very fortunate that we got silver. It was definitely really exciting, and honestly, it made me feel like all the drilling and video analysis I've been doing was all worth it, because only 4 months ago, I was still struggling in 3-0 tournaments. So definitely check out my other videos on this channel. You might find things that could be helpful to improve your own games as well. If you're someone who's fairly new to pickleball like myself, and you're not sure whether you should play in a tournament or not, my recommendation is to just find someone who you enjoy playing with and just go sign up for a tournament. Trust me, regardless whether you win anything or not, you'll meet a lot of amazing people and make new friends, which is one of the big reasons why I love pickleball so much. Okay, let's go back to the shot where I failed. We're gonna watch it again and I'm gonna break down exactly what I think I did wrong there. And afterwards, I'm gonna show how the top pro players handle similar situations like this. So here, my wife actually did a very good job of resetting the ball back into the kitchen again. Now unfortunately, the ball was just a little too high. Jack from the other team raised his paddle and he was ready to slam on the ball. Now at this point, I really should have recognized right away that Jack was gonna hit his ball down on us hard and fast. So to best position myself to defend this next ball, what I should have done was to quickly take a couple of steps back and prepare myself with the incoming attack. Instead, what I did was that I casually backpedaled a few inches and not even making it to the baseline. When the ball eventually got too close to me, that was when I just began to realize that my body was not in the right position to defend the ball. And what made it even worse was the fact that my feet were still backpedaling as I tried to hit the ball, which made it even more difficult for me to track the ball movement accurately. So why was my reaction so slow here? Well, I can tell you that it was actually due to my lack of anticipation. In my mind at the time, I did not think the ball was going to come my way because the previous 3 shots were all going to my wife's side. It gave me a false sense of security, which led to my poor preparation. This was probably the biggest mistake I made during this shot. In contrast, watch how much more prepared my wife was in this situation. From the moment she returned the ball, she kept her legs wide and stable. Her body and paddle were both very low. Watch how much distance she was able to cover between when Jack raised his paddle and right before the ball landed. Then she stopped moving her feet as soon as possible, keeping her body and paddle low. This makes it much easier for her to track the ball movement. Basically, she was ready to defend that ball the whole time. It just goes to show how much time I actually had to prepare myself, and I just didn't take advantage of all that time I had because of my poor anticipation. The other major mistake I made here was that my body was not low enough. Watch as I tried to hit the ball the last minute, how much distance my paddle had to travel to get to that ball. I had to bend down my upper body, lower my arm to reach down to that ball, and while doing all of that, my feet were still moving as well. There was just so much movement going on at the same time. No wonder why I missed that ball. In fact, I made these exact same mistakes 3 times in this game, costing us a total of 3 points. So here, Lily from the other team made a great return. It was high and very deep. Now, as I was watching my wife taking that ball, I should have recognized that hitting a third shot drop on a deep return like that was going to be very tough. Look at her posture. Her body was pushed way back, her arm was jammed. She was hitting that ball in a very uncomfortable position, making it very difficult to hit a high quality drop shot from the baseline. And I should have immediately stopped moving forward and be ready to move back behind the baseline and defend the probable aggressive attack. Unfortunately, none of that information registered in my brain. I continued to march my way forward until I eventually realized my wife's drop shot was very high. That was when I finally stopped moving forward, but I was already too late by this point. However, this was not the end of my mistakes. So instead of just getting my body low and stop moving and focusing on getting ready to defend the ball, I decided to start backpedaling as the ball was coming down at me hard and fast. As a result, I completely missed the ball here. Again, look at how high my paddle was and how much movement was needed from me to reach down to the ball as I was trying to hit it. And before we move on, I just want to thank you for taking your time to watch this video. If you found this video helpful so far, it would really help me out if you could support me by liking this video and subscribe to this channel for more contents like this in the future. And remember to grab your discount code from the description down below. It's another good way to support me and my family along this pickleball journey. Let's now look at Anna Bry and Andre Dascu, two of the top pro players. I'm going to break down how they handle a similar situation like this. So here Anna serves the ball, then Anna Leigh Waters hits a great return back to Anna Bry. Just watch how deep the return is, and watch how far back Anna Bry has been pushed back, making it hard for her to move up to the kitchen quickly. Once again, return of serve is such an important shot, and often is overlooked by a lot of players. I do have a full video on return of serve. If you missed it before, I definitely recommend you go check that one out. Nevertheless, being a top level pro, Anna Bry hits a beautiful drop shot into the kitchen. Anna Leigh Waters then hits a very aggressive ball back at Anna Bry off the bounce. Watch how Anna Bry was still stuck at the baseline as she hit her 5th shot. This again illustrates the impact of a great return by Anna Leigh Waters earlier on. So here's where things started to get very interesting. Anna Bry hits a decent 5th shot drop back to Anna Leigh Waters. Unfortunately, the drop was just a little too deep. Then Ben took a step to his right and poached the ball out of the air aggressively. The moment Ben hits the ball, watch how Andre took a quick split step backwards, keeping his upper body and paddle low the whole time. Then he just stayed still, waiting for the ball to come to him. Thanks to his great anticipation and preparation, his body was in a great position and he had so much time to get the ball. Another important thing to pay attention to here, watch how right after Andre hits the ball, both Anna and himself realized the ball popped up more than they liked, so they began moving further back as quickly as they can. But as the ball crossed the net, they saw from Ben's body movement that he wasn't gonna hit this ball out of the air, and this reduced the threat of the next incoming attack. So they both started moving back towards the kitchen again. As Ben hits the ball, both Andre and Anna made another split step and just preparing to defend the next ball. Ben then hits a great shot by placing the ball on the outside of Andre's foot, making it very difficult for him to hit a high quality drop shot. And indeed, as you can see here, he did pop up the ball once again. Ben was able to hit an aggressive volley back towards the middle. Again, instead of panicking and start backpedaling, both Anna and Andre maintained their composure and simply took another split step backward as Ben hits the ball. Another great get by Anna to get the ball back from a very tricky spot. Also pay attention to how for the whole time, Anna's upper body remained bent and leaning forward, and this helps to keep her center of gravity low and paddle position low. Also with the weight distribution on the balls of her feet, it helps to load her legs and feet to be able to react to the incoming ball faster. Then Ben hits the next ball out of the air very aggressively. Just like before, both Anna and Andre took another split step backward. Another great dig by Anna. The ball unfortunately popped up quite high this time, but that's okay because when you're in a situation, your primary goal is to simply try to get the ball back over the net again and stay in the point, and you're not trying to hit a perfect drop. And watch how she made the most out of this bad situation. She realized that she had more time to move this time because her drop was high. She was able to take 2 quick steps back, then followed by another split step backward while the ball was still in the air. By now, she was already behind the baseline, making the defense of the incoming overhead a lot easier. And great anticipation by Andre here, coming all the way over to Anna's side and taking the ball with his forehand, and hits a great cross-court drop shot back towards Anna Leigh Waters' side, forcing Ben to move himself over to the other side to take the next ball. Another detail I noticed here is that Andre actually purposely kept the right side of the court open. I think he did this for 2 reasons. First reason I believe was that he was baiting Ben into heading the ball to the far right corner, therefore narrowing down the area of the court that his team needed to defend. The second reason I think was because by forcing Ben to head that ball to the far right corner, Ben would have to head the ball inside out, making it a harder shot to execute, but also the shot would have less power and pace, making it easier to defend. And Andre's anticipation was spot on. Ben did go for that far right corner, and the ball did not have too much pace on it. Andre got to the ball relatively easily as he was expecting the ball to be there, then hits a perfect cross-court backhand drop, which ended up being a winner for them. This was a great point. So much to learn from this play. If you didn't quite catch all the details, definitely rewind the video and watch it again. So remember, when you're in a bad situation like this in the game, don't give up on yourself. Maintain your composure, stay in your ready position, anticipate the ball as well as you can, do whatever you can to stay in a point. Find the opportunities to turn the point around just like what Anna and Andre did here. Thank you again for watching. This is Super Duper Pickleball. I hope to see you again in the next video.